Thanks, Crystal. Another winter storm is knocking on Kansas City's door, and there are some precautions you can take to protect your home. Steve Burbridge, owner of Anthony Plumbing, Heating and Cooling, is here with some great advice. Welcome.
Thank you.
Unfortunately, here we go again, right? This just happened last week, and we're doing this all over again. So we got to be prepared because people, you don't want to face the repercussions of not knowing what to do in your home. So how can we prepare for these sub-zero temperatures?
Okay, so usually homes start freezing up, or pipes can freeze up when it gets below 20 and it's windy. Typically at night that can happen. And one of the first things is to know where the piping is in your home and where is your water piping. So if it's near the garage or if it's on an exterior wall, you should be aware of where that is. You can open up the vanities if you've had pipes freeze before, kitchen cabinet vanity or bathroom vanity, put an electric heater in there, maybe even using heat tape. When pipes freeze, like this is a copper pipe that is frozen, broke, just you can see.
Wow.
They potentially can, they potentially can break, and then this is a plastic pipe that's frozen, broke. They don't always break, but it's just inconvenient, and obviously when it does break, it can be major damage.
Yes, it can.
So even on an interior wall, a pipe could be on an interior wall and freeze and break, and how that happens is the top of that wall, the cavity is open to the attic. And again, when it gets really cold out, that cold air comes down. It's strange where it'll just pick a spot and it'll freeze that pipe, and then of course it breaks it. There's a few other things that we see that happened. One of them is sometimes people will inadvertently leave their garage doors open.
Oh.
They're rushing inside, it's cold outside, they thought they hit the button, or maybe they hit it and it went down part way and then came back up.
Yeah.
And then the garage door's open for a long period of time, and it can be
cool
major
air.
damage then. Pipes do freeze and break pretty quickly. Sometimes the water meter lid out in the yard, it will be ajar, and then that freezes, and then they have no water in the house at all, of course, because when it freezes out in the yard, it's not good, and it takes time to thaw that out.
There's so many things to think of, and people just don't consider these things, and then they're stuck with all that damage, and it can be so much money. Another thing is the power, and thousands of people were without power in the KC area after this last storm. I think most of them have gotten that restored, but how can we prepare for a potential power outage?
Yeah, so that's the worst. When the power goes out and it's really cold, then of course they can't use the electric heater, nothing works like that. Your furnace doesn't work. But one thing that does still work is a gas water heater, a tank type water heater is still working. It doesn't use electricity. So a tip is to fill your tub or tubs in your home full of hot water. And that helps heat that area. It's like a big radiator. If you get cold, you can get in the tub, of course. And so remember, you do have that appliance to use. So if you have an infrared garage heater that we sell a lot of these, and this heats your garage if you have bedrooms above the garage or even the rooms around the garage. This does not use electricity, so you will still have heat in those rooms around the garage. And we combine that with the water heating. We do not recommend any kind of heater like this.
Oh, you don't? Okay.
Nothing like this inside the house. Or if it
right.
It has a butane tank.
Is it too powerful, and then the gas, the propane?
Well, it's not too powerful. It's just that the potential is if it has an open flame, it can put off carbon monoxide. So it needs to be outside of the living area.
Yes.
And we do see people, because when there's a power outage, you do not want your house to freeze up. So it's a dilemma, what do you do? But we do not recommend this inside the house if you're going to be staying there and living there. Don't try to light a stove. You can sometimes light a stove with, a lighter instead of, and you can get it lit, but it's not recommended as well to do that.
Right. Good point there. I'm going to put you on the spot a little bit here. What about people like me? We kind of talked about this a little bit, who live in an apartment and I only have electric, everything. Am I just kind of out of luck? I'm stuck?
Yes, I would say that. Now you'll have residual heat in your electric water heater where you could use that and fill your tub again but you won't get reheated with it. So that would be probably about it. The apartments or homes have thermal mass, so it does take a while before they start getting really cold. So you just hope the power's not out very long. I should mention also I brought a battery backup sump pump. So what happened last weekend is we had rain, then we had the wet snow, and people's sump pumps were working, and then their power went out. And they didn't have a battery backup. So we had a lot of flooded basements last week, even in January. And so I brought a battery backup. This is a primary pump, and this would activate as the water comes up. And if the pump's not on, if there's no power to the pump, then this secondary float will come up that activates this pump, which is powered by the battery, and you still get water out of your basement, out of your sump pit.
Good to know.
Anybody that has a a sump pump should have this part of it, the battery backup sump pump. And
gosh, you teach us so much. I mean, when I do have a home, I'm going to be fully prepared because of you. We do have a special offer for all of our KCL viewers. You can get a $49 home plumbing inspection. I would recommend that. And $100 off battery backup pump or sump pump, which we just learned about. So take advantage of those deals right there. We're also going to be speaking with you a little bit later on Facebook. So join us on Facebook Live on 41 Action News, and we'll be talking more about this and getting more information in detail. We also have a link on KCLive.tv later on today with this segment. Thanks so much.
Thank you,
Again,
Kelly.
we'll talk to you soon and learn a little bit more. Appreciate it.